Why, hello there.
Hello.
Welcome back. Welcome back to NOIS. No one is safe.
No topic is safe.
Today's topic is super cute.
I love that.
It's we're going to address the old feminine versus masculine energy.
God, we get that a lot.
We do.
I'm quite excited that we're talking about this.
Yeah. As excited as the SEGS ep or nah?
Well, that's you know the sex app is always going to be my number one, but it's still not done. So that's why I'm excited.
Just quickly with. Like circling back to that episode, we got quite a bit of feedback. Watch the mic.
I know.
We got feedback about that episode, and to be fair,
people wanted a bit more. Actually,
people wanted a bit more, and they were surprised that you were quite tame.
Girl, I just do not want to be a slut on the first date. Is that the worst thing? Yeah, no, you know what? I wasn't clearly really putting I wasn't playing with a full deck.
Yeah.
My cards had like 48 in the deck.
Do you know how many there should be?
It's 52?
Yeah.
54?
52.
52, yeah. Whatever it was, I was 51 deck. I was playing 51 cards, okay?
Okay.
But yeah, no, I probably should.
I think you played it well because obviously there's going to be in the future.
My husband could be on there.
Yep. He could be. No, but obviously, yeah, we're going to be touching on sex again at some point.
In the near future.
In the near future. So, for those of you who thought Tonye needed to open those legs a bit more, stay tuned. But today we're talking about feminine versus masculine energy.
I am excited about this topic, girl.
I know.
Not as much as the other one, but I am. And I feel like we maybe in our lives have kind of experienced it as well.
Yeah.
But I think I want to, from your end, what you feel.
Yeah.
When this topic came up, when we came up with this, what was your feeling? What do you?
Oh, like I'm quite passionate about it. To be fair, and a non-sexism, is that the right word?
Yeah, sexism. Yeah, you're not being sexist.
I'm not being sexist.
You're not a full-on feminist.
No, definitely not. Shave my pits. But yeah, no, I was definitely excited about it as well because it is something that we all know and we all feel.
Yes.
It's not talked about that often.
It's probably been talked about a bit more now than it was when we were growing up.
Oh, yeah, definitely more now, just like fucking everything. Yep. But yeah, it's definitely around, but I think it probably comes in waves.
Yes.
Like depending on what's happening in the media,
with the culture,
the culture, celebrities, you know, the Me Too movements and all that shit. Like at that level, there's always something. But drilling down to everyday life, and I think what we're talking about today is what our perspectives are, and obviously they're not everyone's perspectives, and
that is okay.
Yeah, because there's no right or wrong.
There isn't. It's all about experiences.
Yeah,
and how we experience life, and you know, we'll do it our way, and you know,
it could be right, could be wrong, and people take things in.
And I'll be as wrong as I need to be.
Yep, I know. I know. But yeah, so what? Tell me, what does it mean to you?
For me, the whole thing, obviously from my background, being a homosexual, the gender roles are always a big thing. It's always kind of like, what's masculine? Is masculine, like for me growing up, it's like my dad is very like strong, like he was very domineering and never wasn't always a positive thing. And the mom is like the one who stays at home and does all that kind of stuff. And you can behave like a man or like a boy.
Yeah.
Or you can behave like a girl.
Yeah.
So for me, I felt like always that masculine, feminine. I always felt that I was more comfortable with the feminine.
Yeah.
Only because I could understand that I was maybe a little bit more inclined that way.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I didn't want to fucking run around a fucking rugby field.
Yeah.
And I did not want to be shot in the face by, you know, what you call those guns with the paintball guns?
Oh.
Look at that. That's...
I was wondering where you're going with it.
I was like, no, what are you going to say? I'm going to be shot in the face with an Uzi? No, but I definitely like was more inclined to like what would be considered girly things, which were not necessarily girly things, but it was just not rough and tumble.
Yeah.
You know, and so I always felt that I was more feminine than I was masculine because those roles I felt were very separate.
Yeah.
So for me, growing up, that was a huge issue for me. I obviously was still discovering my sexuality,
mm-hmm.
but I felt like that almost tied in because it's like, because I do like boys and girls like boys.
So should you feel like a girl or act like a girl?
This thing, I didn't know if I could, and that's the thing. So a lot of my reservations doing boy things was almost because like I felt like, oh my God, I'll probably be a girl at it. I'll probably not do it properly.
Boyish enough.
Yeah, I wasn't boyish.
I
wasn't boyish enough.
Yeah.
To do what the boys are doing, but because in my head I was locked in my own head.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, no, for me that's what it was. Like for you, I mean, what did you like? Obviously, your experiences have been different.
Yeah, I guess growing up
was
with siblings, you know, both boys and girls, and then only having the mum in the house, you know, so I didn't have a father figure as such, but my brother was definitely the male of the house, which was super cool. But yeah, for myself personally, like I've always thought that I was a bit of a tomboy. You knew I was going to say that, eh?
Yeah, I know you are.
And you've growled me before. Is growl the right word? I don't know. But you've mentioned it to me before. Like, I don't know where you get this tomboy thing from. But I guess...
Because you do have more sisters than you have brothers.
No, I know.
You have one brother.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess... Yeah, I don't know. I've always felt like a tomboy. Even though I played girls' sports... You know, growing up and...
What's girls' sports?
Like netball.
Oh, yes. I only realized that this boys' netball. I thought netball was like the girls' version of basketball. You know how baseball is... softball is kind of like the girls' version of baseball.
Not really.
Isn't it? Same in netball is...
I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, boys can play netball and that's more common now.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was a girls-only sport.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It kind of is like that. It was that same way softball was.
I guess it came down, for me, it was like what my fashion was as well. So I wasn't like a big wearer of...
like ghetto looks, girl.
Oh, chill out.
No, like when I say ghetto, like I mean like you were like, honestly, you would be like the hip hop 110.
Yeah, which was
the look.
Well,
my older brothers would have dressed like that too.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I just didn't wear dresses, and even as a younger, before I was 10, 11, kind of, you know, like that young, a kid. I didn't wear dresses, and I might have worn a skirt with a t-shirt, but mainly pants, shorts, you know. And so as I got older, that hip hop look, like you would say, I was definitely more inclined to wear, you know, the baggy jeans and that hip hop look, and I've always felt comfortable. And even now as an adult, don't get me wrong, I love to put a frock on. You do, and you look very sexy when you do. Actually. Yeah, I do. I do like to wear a dress every now and then, but... And everybody does notice when you do put on a dress. I notice it much. But yeah. Like even now at my new job and stuff, like I wear a lot of trousers and pants, and which I do love. And not so much a power suit, but you know, I love a blazer. The work pumps, just sort of like get on the go look. Yeah, so I wore a dress to work the other day, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, like what is this?" Like it's wear a dress Friday,
Yes.
you know. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's always in my head has been more around the fashion side of things.
So for you, like the mask femme thing, being masculine or feminine for you, you felt feminine meant like, oh, if I'm behaving like a woman, like wearing like a woman, like wearing dresses, and like that.
Yeah,
that was more what femininity.
Would feel like. So that's why I've always liked to make sure I wear earrings, and well, not make sure because I have to, but obviously I like to wear earrings. Switch it up, and definitely jewelry and stuff, but not over the top.
Exactly.
Kind of But I guess that was always the base level of what
it was. Because for me, there were feminine things to do. Like for example, I'll be one of the kids who would love to play with like Barbies. Yeah. But I'd never have one, obviously, because I grew up with 4 boys. Yeah. But I had a cousin who had. Yeah. So I loved, or we had like really, really close family friends who were all girls. They were literally like the mirror image of us. Yeah. Like there were 3 boys, but they had 3 girls. That's so cool. And they had, so I always loved going over to hang out with them because I could play with the Barbies. And that was, it's so wild to me because I didn't obviously know then. Yeah. And what the sister that I was closest with, we would always, she was like, oh, because her sisters were obviously like past, the older sister was past the Barbie stage. Mm-hmm. I was still kind of infatuated by it, and she was. Yeah. So we both used to play, and she was just like so excited that someone in the house was playing with her about it. Yeah. Yeah. So did you used to make them kiss? Did you used to make the Barbie and Ken kiss? I used to make them get married, not kiss. Oh, yeah. I wanted Ken to really, he needs to get the Jeep first. Does Ken have a car? No. Ken, they had a few cars, convertibles and stuff. She didn't have those. She didn't pay for the collectibles. Oh, I had a full-blown Barbie collection, man. Did you? Oh yeah. I did not pin you as a Barbie girl. Oh my God, I had like 80 Barbies. Really? Yeah, I had the horses, the apartments, the cars, the boats, the spa. There was like a little spa pool thing. Like that's how long I've loved. Well, you're not sad about this. You really made your Barbie house, didn't you? You have your spa pool now, huh? The only thing missing is the yacht. Can we get a yacht? I can. Oh yeah, fuck. That we might start with getting us a Ken each. Because the trimmings always is the attachments to the actual Barbie house. Yeah, but then if we get Kens each, then hopefully they're rich enough and they bring their own catamarans. Oh, goddamn, please, if you are out there, Ken, or whatever your name is, Frank, Mick. Not Mick. No, that's cute. That's cute. That's cute. Yeah. But even on a serious note. Yeah. Because I know, like, for me, in a professional sense, I've always had, we all have things that we have to deal with professionally that we cannot control. And obviously on this topic about feminine and masculine, I know that for once, I know I have the upper hand in that being a guy in the professional world, it's a bit easier for me. And I know that because I've always asked girls, like, I know how other women feel in the professional world. For you, what was the moment that you were like, oh, I feel like being a woman is this is when I've actually felt discriminated, or I feel like, oh wow. Yeah. I've heard it everywhere and I've kind of heard people say about it, but this is my first time I felt it. That this moment has made me feel like, wow, oh my, that feeling. I guess, I to be honest, I don't recall a moment where I have felt discriminated because of my gender. Awesome. I've been quite lucky. Yeah, I've been quite lucky. I've never, whatever reason, it hasn't been because, of anything. Yeah. Over the years, there's been discussions in different businesses that I've worked at, around the whole gender equality when it comes to how much we're paid. Yeah.
You know, like, and there's a lot of companies, it's like they're woke now and they want to be seen to be, you know, bridging that gap and stuff. And I know. And it's like, okay, at the end of the day, it's very archaic, right? That mentality of men should be paid more.
It's literally, you should be paid for the work you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, whether you're a man or a lady.
Well,
if you're a hard worker and you get shit done, then, you deserve to be paid your worth. Like, your worth isn't whether you've
based
got
on what shit that you can't control. And that's what is the what drives me nuts about this kind of thing, is because it's like, because I'm what same way we are the same. If there's something that if you tell me that is the goal, I want to know that the only thing stopping me from getting to that goal is literally me crawling my way up there. Yeah. But don't tell me that I have a ceiling to getting to where I need to be. Yeah. If that is what max is, then I need to know that I can get there. Yeah. But don't tell me because of my race or my sex or my whatever that I cannot achieve the ultimatum. Yeah. You know, and I think that is what, the whole point of, being the freedom of life and being like heard. And it's for me, it's just one of those things that
it's interesting.
It's so wild. Like, I think even professionally for me, I would always relate it to be like, maybe like for me, maybe racially it'd be a bit different. Like, I feel like for me, that's the only time I'd have felt that discrimination. Yeah. So I always just felt like it was only going to be like in a racial way that I ever felt discriminated, but not like sexual, not gender wise, sexually. My mind always goes to that, girl. I know. You know what I like.
No, that's cool. That's cool. What about sex and?
I knew you were gonna ask
how it affects. No, I'm quite keen to hear what your thoughts are. Like, whoa. You touched on it before. Like, okay, so being in a relationship as a gay or lesbian person.
Yes.
Like, how does that look for you? Because there's masculine and masculine energy.
There's mask for mask, which is like masculine for masculine, which is what guys would say.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if a gay guy is looking for like a masculine guy, they want like mask for mask.
Okay.
So they don't want you to be like a feminine gay.
Yeah.
They want you to be like.
So a feminine gay would be your flamboyant.
Yeah, flamboyant, which is so regressive. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for in a relationship sense, I think it's been a bit of a whirlwind.
I bet.
Because you obviously realize that, oh my God, I did love Barbies and I did like all these things. So, and I already felt like, I already categorized in my head that I was feminine.
Yeah.
Growing up, because I did not like all the things the boys liked.
Yeah.
And then you grow up and then you realize, you come to terms with, well, I am gay, but I'm not sure if that's why is it because you like the girl things, you like the Barbies because you were gay. But then you grow up and you meet, like, you start dating. Mm-hmm. Or you start getting, into the world where you're meeting other gays.
Yeah.
And I realize there's a different setting in there.
Yeah.
Because you can be gay but not actually have ever liked those things. Mm. You could be gay and have not known till now.
Yeah.
So there was this whole world behind that. There's a whole gender wall behind that I had no idea, because I saw it from my point of view.
Yeah.
And I always thought like, liking Barbies and being feminine or liking feminine stuff was the gay part of me. But then I realized that actually it wasn't, because there were a lot of boys who grew up who were gay as well who did like that.
Yeah,
They never could understand any of those experiences. So that was kind of a bit wild for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so that was kind of a little bit of a
learning curve for you.
It really was.
So have you ever been in a relationship with a feminine person? Like a really flamboyant, because like you're not I don't know what you are. Like I can't I don't know what the word is, because you're not like super duper flamboyant,
yes,
but you're very loud and proud.
Yeah.
And I've heard you say it before, there's only room for one of you in the room or in that relationship.
Yeah.
So have you been in a relationship before where there's someone like you, or have they been more manly?
No, I think there was a relationship. It wasn't manly, and I think that was probably the most. And it's really, really important that I love that you did ask this, because it's one of the relationships where I realized that it really wasn't, for me, the genderness of the feminine or masculineness wasn't that important. It was more about how they made me feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I have been in relationships with it. I would generally go towards a relationship where he's a bit more maybe manly.
Yeah.
That, but
yeah.
Obviously growing up, I don't feel, being even as an adult now, I understand that masculinity and femininity is a completely different thing. But growing up, I did always kind of get drawn towards the more masculine guys, because I had already categorized myself
as being the feminine
because
one.
You like all these things that equate to what the girls like. And that's how I formulated it in my head.
Yeah.
And it's only now when I got older, I'm like, oh wow, okay, there's different kinds of guys. Wow, okay. Yeah. So that's another mind fuck, because you're not trying to realize, oh, so maybe if you like that, that's not why you're feminine.
Yeah.
Because that's not what the gay is. Gay actually means a whole lot of other things.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So that was like that was a whole change. So there was constant evolving that needed to happen.
Yeah.
So
when it comes to you being in a relationship, and we have talked about this before, in general. So like, if your man opens the door for you, does all those little
mannerisms?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pulls the seat out for you.
So obviously, because I would be on, like, go on dates, and like, you meet your dates on whatever app you meet your dates on. It's in the gay world, it's a hierarchy. It's not a hierarchy thing. It's kind of like it's unspoken. You get kind of guys get the vibe of each other, because sometimes some people do not want to say if they're masculine or feminine, and masculine or feminine in the gay world does not mean who is getting penetrated versus who is not getting penetrated.
Yeah.
Which is what the hetero or the straight world would imagine.
Yeah.
That is what it's like. Okay, so if you're getting penetrated, you're the girl, and if you're not, you're the guy. And it's not, as we talked about before, because when I was starting off, I thought, like, I was like, okay, so guess I'm not going to be the one getting penetrated, because I did not like it, and it didn't feel good, and it didn't make me feel in a way. So a lot of times in the gay world, there's a whole socio issue going on where we are still trying to discover, like, how do you talk about that? Because you don't want it. I think the gay world has been so hypersexualized that we don't want to label. We don't want, every time we go on a date or when you're on the dating apps, you don't want to be like, oh my god, I poke. I'm a poker. I'm a pokey. You don't want to be like who's getting kind of. So you have to now wait to the date, and we're both looking at each other like, so watching the mannerisms, watching everything to kind of gauge, like.
Do you list yours? Do you?
No, because it means that you're putting it all down to sex.
Oh, okay.
if you have to say like,
is that not?
is that not all we do?
It's not the aim of the fucking game.
It's 99%. No. Yeah. It's kind of like, because you want to kind of make sure that, because sex is obviously very important. So if you're both guys who do not want to penetrate each other, then we've already created this. There's already a barrier there that we have not even. So that's the sad part. We haven't tried to discover whether there's anything else about us.
Yeah.
Like, do we laugh about stuff? Do we have? But it's always so. There is again the hypersexualism of that gay world. So for us, it's yes in any relationship you want to gauge. Oh, is he pulling out the chair for me? Is he?
I mean, that doesn't really fucking happen in the straight world anyway. So
is he treating me in a kind of way that's letting me know that, and that's they will do that to let you know that I'm the one who's gonna be doing this.
Yeah.
And again, it's a part of the culture. You're like, oh, okay, so he's gonna be a little bit domineering, of course, till you guys are in bed, and then anything can happen. We close the curtains, and then
shit goes down.
It does. But for you, in relation, like in terms of relationships, because I know like you are very, very, you're strong. You are very strong woman, and I know like from knowing you, and the one or two guys that you have swung around these areas, you're very, very, you are kind of a very go-getting woman. So, and I know before I met you, men get very intimidated. You would always be classified to me as a very intimidating woman. And that's because you are powerful. You know what you want. You know where you need to be. You know where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are, and what you need to strengthen.
What more I need to work on.
So, and that's for a lot of guys will be considered masculinity. Like that's what a man needs to be able to do certain things. Yeah. They need to be able to do certain things for a woman. They need to be able to provide. They need to be able to help you. They need to be your Prince Charming. They need to be like, you need to be the damsel in distress. Yeah. It's like, why can't you be in distress? Yeah. And they don't understand that, like, so what was like.
Yeah, it's been quite frustrating, to be fair, because there's no way I would change the way I am to make a potential partner feel better about his where he is in his journey to his masculinity. And so you're right, like over the years there has been times where I've heard it a lot, right? These men, they say they want a really strong, independent woman, but when they find one, they don't know what to do with her.
Because they don't realize when they say they want this strong woman, I think they feel that, she's not going to be a gold digger. Doesn't mean that she's not weak.
Yeah.
Because in their head, I want a woman that's independent. It's like, I want a strong woman. She knows to handle herself. But for a woman to be able to build all those qualities in this world, there are other things that come with that. Yeah. She's going to be independent. Your opinion is not going to be as weighted as you think. Yeah. And the realization of that, they do not like. Yeah. They do not like that because it's like, she's cocky.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely comes across sometimes like maybe I am, cocky. But it's, I wouldn't change it for the world. But it is disheartening because it's like, well, fuck, I would love to have someone come and protect me and look after me and do the man things for me. But because I was a single mom and then that period where I was single for a good 10 years, I had to do everything myself. And I had no one to call on I mean, obviously, like, if shit hit the fan, I'd call on my family and they would help me. But when it comes to relationships, it was never like, I didn't have it, and I didn't want it for that time. I made sure that 10-year period where I was single, I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
And it taught me everything I know today, and it grew me into the person I am today. But then, fast forward to being in that position where I'm like, okay, it'd be nice to find a partner who is of equal status and wants the same things in the future. But it's really difficult because things get in the way, that their egos or that exact thing.
It's what because you said something that really kind of clicks something in me. You're like talking about being, you wanted protecting, and it's like the protecting that you want, what is how that is defined. And you're like, what I have is like what you had faced already in your life. I did not need that kind of protection.
It's not a physical protection.
It nearly almost wasn't a psychological protection. Because there's nothing that I have had to do life. Life already is stressful for most of us. You know? So the guy who is going to protect you, that protection is like class A protection. I need you to have already understood the assignment, passed it, and now you're looking for fucking A plus grades. You're going for, do you know what I mean? And that is important to accept, because I think I would be the same.
It's not about protecting physically, and that
like a fucking unit.
The protection of, okay, something's happened at work, or shit's going down, whatever. Just like wrap your arms around me and tell me it's going to be okay. We've got this. That is what I mean. I don't need fucking anyone to come and beat someone up for me. Like it's not about violence.
I don't know. It's like I do not live in the hood. What hood do you think I live in, buddy? I do not need that. If that's what you're coming to do, I would have hired security.
Oh, maybe we could get some bodyguards.
But it's that's cute. I love that you did bring that up, because that is.
I think it's important. There's a lot of really strong, independent women around and stuff, and at different levels, and what that means is different to everybody. But if a guy is saying, "Oh, I want that strong,"
so what if you did find a guy that did all those things? He was kind of amazing. He was fun. He made you laugh. But he had a little bit of a chauvinistic side. His ideas were, I would take care of you. I would make sure I do everything, but your job is to just be in the kitchen. Your job is to. He's still sweet. He's not gonna say it in an aggressive way. He's just that's his.
Stay in the kitchen because he earns a lot of money, and I don't need to work. Where he can't cook.
He can't cook, but he can cook.
He can cook.
He cannot.
Oh, he cannot.
So, but he cannot cook because he feels like he wouldn't need to, because he's a man, and you are a woman, and that is like the one side of the whole relationship that was a problem. That is his gender. His gender assigned you guys into this. Would that be a deal breaker for you?
Probably. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like if he didn't want me to go to work or do something other than stay at home and wait.
Yeah, because you feel like, oh my God, I want to be able to provide for you. You going to work makes me feel a kind of way like I'm not doing enough.
As a man.
Yeah, as a man. I want to give you more. Okay, don't go to work. I'll get you a little boutique.
Oh, okay. Maybe, yeah.
Okay, if you go to
that would be all right.
Okay.
As long as I could do something. Like I wouldn't want like a controlling dude who was just like, to the extreme of, you don't need to work. I want you to stay home and just be a little,
Barbie on the wall, like
Barbie with a little
trophy wife.
Yeah. Like I don't think I could handle that.
Okay. Cool. I think there's a chick that.
You would like that, wouldn't you?
I would fucking love it. I want to be a trophy wife. That's what I was made to do. I don't remember what I was like. Oh my god, I want to. I'm like, I'll tell you what I want is literally to just. I get that, and I feel like it's weird because the only reason I probably feel that is because I am actually I am a man physically, so I would have never had to deal or fight with the things that a woman would have to get to where they are.
Yeah.
Or the discriminations that they'd have.
Yeah.
So for me, it's easy to be lighthearted about it. And for me to want it. Everybody always wants what they don't have. The minute if I grew up with that, now I'd be like, oh my God,
oh, totally.
Because I'm now not, I don't have that. I'm like, oh God, I feel for that.
Yeah.
Like,
especially if you had a really like nice house with a pool and a pool boy. So
and you could have the farm next to it. The pool doesn't need to be large. Like just something I can wade in will be fine. I really do not make fun of that because I do understand that the gender roles can be very, very dehumanizing in many ways because there are a lot of women who have worked so hard to pull up and show up and change that narrative where like the woman needs to be at home, and a lot of the guys would kind of be like, can you imagine back then they're like, oh, you want to go to, what do you want to read for?
Yeah,
I can't imagine that time, but there's a lot of things in those times that happened that you're like, can't imagine that actually did happen.
Yeah.
So no, it's I love that we are talking about gender roles, and like even today, like there's dads who'd want to be at home.
Yeah.
There's stay-at-home dads who would give everything. They do not want to leave the house.
Yeah, that is more common these days, right? The dads, stay at home and raise the kids and stuff.
And the world is noticing it because now paternal leave is a thing. I remember in Ireland when I first went, the whole kind of paternal, they give like dads like 2 days. I'm like,
really?
Yeah, it's like 2 days.
It's not very long.
We used to look at places like Germany and Sweden that had like almost a year. It was like 6 months. It was something drastically long. And I'm like, oh my God, look at them. They are still ahead. And that's why they stayed ahead of the world where like it's 2 days to be a dad and be acknowledged in the workforce.
That's so
Your dad, great for you. Okay, 2 days, get on with it.
Yeah.
You've created a whole child.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Back to work.
Back to work. Whatever. Good. Ha ha ha. Congratulations. There's a card.
Yeah.
A few balloons.
I wanted to read a few things out to you.
Oh my God.
And it's funny, right? So again, it's different perspectives, people's opinions.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong kind of thing, but if you ever Google it, it's fucking hilarious.
Oh my God. What is it?
It's typical Google shit, but I'm going to read a few words out from masculine. I want you to tell me what your thoughts are. Okay? Okay, so masculine energy. Strong, focused, powerful, purpose-driven, problem solver.
So that sounds like a lot to put on one.
I know.
Whatever, yeah.
I know. Needs admiration and appreciation. Wants to be wants to be needed and respected.
Oh, I want that.
Focused.
I wonder what does feminine energy say?
I'll get there. Intimacy killer. Being criticized, controlled, or shut out. You'd agree with most of those?
I do not know. I feel like that is I'm going to call it heteronormative, or the generalization of what masculinity looks like, and it made me ache so much.
I know.
I was aching through every single one of those.
Yeah.
That's why I was like hurrying you up to get to this, because I was waiting for the other side to be like as chauvinistic as I think this one is.
Yeah. So a male wrote it, probably. Hey.
Oh, clearly.
Oh dear. Okay, feminine.
What's the feminine one?
Radiant.
It's already patronizing on the first word.
Seeks and gives love. Nurturer. Multitasker. Free.
Good home runner is what it is. Yeah. Runs the home well.
Open. Wants to fill up. Gather.
Fill up. It wants to fill up with water. I can vibe with that. I want to get a good fill up. That's me, all right. That's my feminine energy right there.
Oh, boom. Makes small things big in many ways. So small problems that she's going to blow it out of proportion. She's a raging fucking...
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Or small... Get a small dick pic. Remembers. I must admit, like, I think females have got quite good memories.
Yes, that's why they're very vindictive. They do not forget shit.
Not if your feelings are hurt. We remember.
It would.
We fucking remember the date, the time, how we smelled.
And they will bring it up 2 or 3 years later. And that is okay. Like, it was yesterday because it wasn't dealt with yesterday. Fellas, deal with the problems when they happen, because it is stored, man.
Needs reassurance and attention, wants trust, connection, and praise.
Oh my God.
Intimacy killer, feeling unseen.
Okay, unsafe. I do not like who is this person?
Or misunderstood.
Who wrote this?
Oh my God. I don't know. I just had to point that out because
that's what guys think. That is a generalization of, like, honestly.
Totally.
The masculine idea. But I feel like it's really promising, because I feel like a lot of guys in this day and age, a lot of people are seeing that that's not a reality. And
it's not.
Being more in touch with
their feelings.
And it's wild to me.
Yeah.
It's wild to me, and really important, because there are a lot of guys who had back in the day who would have had so many beautiful relationships, but
were too stubborn. They couldn't open up. They couldn't
open up. They couldn't wear a fucking pink shirt. I remember when guys would want to wear a pink shirt, and the reason guys started wearing pink shirts as the time went on is because they chose to call it salmon.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Salmon is the masculine version of pink. You just could not fucking wear pink. It could not be called pink. It had to be salmon. So guys started wearing salmon shirts, and it pissed me off, because I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And then if I'm telling you, like, oh, this is aubergine or purple or fucking maroon, you don't know the fucking difference. But every straight guy who wanted to express their femininity, who liked pink, would get a salmon shirt. Because that was how I said, I'm not gay, I'm not feminine, but I like pink. You know? So it was, and that's what it's just to let people know that do not get so wrapped up because gender it's constantly redefining. Yeah. All the time. You know? But I just, that was clearly, like, I still remember that very vividly as it happened.
Classic. Anything else? Can you think of anything else? Like, do you think females have more empathy than men?
So I think it's even.
You think it's even?
I do think it's even. I think it is even.
Really?
I think it's showing or having is very different.
True. Yeah.
They're put in the situation to show it. It's like if your dad could be, you would see in a situation like, you know, you're crying or a kid is running, your dad is kind of seeing you crying. He's like, oh, go and help him out. When in his heart, he wants to do it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know whether that is what his role is to do.
Yeah.
So I think women have done heinous things, and I think women have thought heinous things, and I think because there's been centuries of women not having a voice.
Yeah.
That men have voiced a lot of the heinous things. But I think if it was always equated and equal, I think we'd say men and women are literally mentally up here. Yeah, maybe physically we're not. Maybe men have been built a little bit stronger. But no, I think women are not. No, a woman scorned. There's no. They get angry and they will hold it for a long time. So I think they just haven't had a space over the centuries.
Yeah.
If they had as much time for men to evolve and do everything that they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Up until the 90s, like within the 19th century, where women could work.
Yeah.
You could talk. So there were many centuries of suppression.
Yeah.
Women are just as you see, guys think, oh, women don't cheat, women don't do things, like what they are. You realize that they are human beings still.
Yeah.
And that's why it surprises me that they're like, oh my god, women cheat. Can you believe it? I'm like, more than men. I'm like, oh, why? Because you thought you were. It's always so funny that guys find it so mind blowing.
Yeah.
It's like, women cheat more than men. I'm like, why wouldn't they? They have like twice as many orgasms than you think you're horny. You're horny. You're this. If your dick is leading you this much, could you imagine somebody who has you have 50,000, stimulants on your penis? They have like literally like 1 billion. It is fucking 500 times more than yours. You think with your dick, what? And that is leading you. What do you think? What do you think a woman feels?
Yeah.
So
what about a woman who's taken some Viagra?
You are obsessed with this idea.
I just didn't know.
It does. It would engorge you. Like, so it would. Women are more in control. That's the thing. For women, it drives me wild that women are not way more as. I think they are as promiscuous, but it's because they're not as loud. Men, all they do is talk about sex. How much they're doing it, who knows? Probably half as much. So if a guy is talking that much about sex, he's probably doing half of it, if not less. So women are the ones. That's why the guys are like, they have no idea, because women haven't had that opportunity to take that front and center stage. For how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. So I do think they're the same. I do think women are not as, in terms of qualities, are they more caring or not? Don't know. Because
what about just in your experience and in your life? Like when you think back to your previous managers and bosses,
I always find like I met a lot of, I don't want to use that word, the K word, but I've met a lot of Felicias. So I think a lot of times I get on better with men in work, and that's not just because I'm a whore, but I find that I would it depends. Like women, I think women in the workplace again.
Yes.
Because I could have met Felicia and she's not having a good day, but Felicia has not been having a good day for a while because all the men in her work have been
like
dicks.
tapping her down. So
when you meet her, she's angry. She is just. What do you feel? I feel like you have do you feel like you've met more kind women to you than men?
In the workplace, when it comes to managers, like I've had many managers over the years, both female and male, and I find.
But this is the corporate workplace. You have to really specify that,
because this is true.
You're a corporate girl. Okay. You are in the cutthroat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
didn't think of it like that, but definitely my experience in the corporate world, I have found the female to be more caring
towards you because they understand.
Okay. Yeah, towards me.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Because what about in life? What about in the world? Have you found that guys are always meaner to you? Because I do not see that.
No.
I do not see that. I feel like the women are the ones who are to be watched.
Oh yeah, the women.
Who are the nasty in real way. You take away work and in the day-to-day goings of life.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are supposed to be supporting. And they are not. They are the ones that are more dangerous, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just, I just always find that I think it's even. I think human beings mentally we're wired the same. And that's why a woman can do exactly what a man can do mentally, if not better. And that's just because, again, it's when there's a lot of oppression and resistance, you build a thicker wall and you build mentally a thicker wall. And that's why a lot of, even in the gay community, they would say like gay men are always way more successful than straight men.
Really?
Yeah. And that's always because they've had to
fight those other.
Yes. There's an endurance. You've already put yourself down for not being able to do a lot of things. But you're going to win in one thing.
Yeah. And that's
so you're mentally focused. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to find where your strength is. Women have always been able to do so many things. They birth human beings. They do it, but it's good to suppress something and that's the straight. I'm not gonna say like white male because I know it's all men, but the straight white male thing is to like suppress something that you feel that you fear.
Yeah.
If you fear it, that is something that could potentially surpass you. Women have always been like stronger. Men cannot do a lot of the things, and that's even in the medical world when it comes to men will not. They're the ones screaming and squirming and fucking fainting, getting a fucking bloods done. It's like, oh my god, for fuck's sake! And the bigger, the burlier. I'm like, please put a bed down for this guy to sit down. He's like, I'm fine. I'm like, sit down. Sit down because you're gonna faint. I'm not picking up the floor, and they want to prove something. So and it's the women that like have been to everything. They have like 5 kids who are in there with them, and she's sick, but she cannot leave them at home. Then she's like, oh, take the bloods, do all that, and
do what you gotta do.
Is the ones that are big and are supposed to be masculine men that are causing all my problems. Like so, it's one of those things that, for me, I see it that we're literally so even.
I think we're wired different.
Hormonally and everything, yes.
Oh yeah, but just in general, and it's like it does boil down to relationships. So yeah, we'll talk about that another day because it's a whole book. But I
do love that though. Yeah, no, we are wired differently, and we do experience these differently, and that's why I don't know how we can understand what the wiring is. I know, like, physiologically, there's hormones, and hormones do things. Yeah. And it's only when I got older that I realized, oh my God, when I was going through my teenagehood, I realized why things felt way more intense. And that was because of hormones. And even when people are, like, transitioning, they would, as adults, say, like, oh my God, when I was taking, like, the female hormones, everything was so much more potentiated. I felt like way more emotional. And it made me so wild because that back obviously then taking hormones and it wasn't a thing. Yeah. But now they could be grown men who are transitioning now into being women and they're taking those things. So they're now understanding when men would always say like a woman is being so fucking emotional. Yeah. That there's a reason, and that is not just being a woman. It actually is a physiological change that's happened. Like women are carrying way more of those. Yeah. So it makes them way more sensitive, makes them more attentive. Because they're sensitive, because everything you're listening, there's so many triggers. Yeah. So it's, for me, it's like the wiring is different. Because men are wired different. Doesn't mean like a woman who does something bad out of passion is different from a man doing something bad out of passion. Yeah. Why? If it's both out of passion, why?
Oh, there's no difference. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Is it? That's no. Like, yeah. Yeah. So there's
so many factors and levels and ways to look at it, but that's interesting.
Yeah. I love that. Oh my God.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining. We've enjoyed having you here on NOIS.
NOIS.
Because no one is safe.
No topic is safe. I have to say, this was a really kind of very serious, somber topic, which I did like. It was nice to kind of...
I think, yeah. We had to throw it out there at some point. Yeah. It's one of those things where, you know, we've talked a bit about it in the past where obviously I'm a female and you're a male.
I feel like it's one of the things that we're different about.
But yeah, it's important because without even knowing it, we're interacting every day with the opposite sex and just understanding bits and pieces. And like I said at the start, you know, it doesn't mean what we've said tonight is right or wrong. It's just our personal experiences, views and opinions.
And of course, we actually chose not to go into the fact that, you know, gender is changing and there's gender and
there's
sexuality
so much more, right?
And that's also obviously such a wide and broad thing, which obviously was not the premise of this chat. It was more just
very surface.
To just open that Pandora's box and skim the surface. Like, what's in there, girl? What's in that Pandora?
If someone can go away from watching this episode and just kind of reflect on where they think they're sitting personally with their own energies and what they're putting out there and what they expect back from their friends, their family, their prospective partners and perspective. Oh my gosh.
What I think, my advice would be scrap gender. I'm like, do you scrap all of it?
Totally.
I do not think it's...
We should be looking at each other like
what
one or the other.
What is that?
That's why they brought out the whole pronouns of he, they. He, they. Is it he, they?
A whole other thing.
She, he? No.
I think it's more like what I want to be called is that's different. I feel in terms of the gender roles and gender.
Oh yeah, the roles. Yeah.
Is scrap that first of all. Because when you do that, when you first of all scrap that, then you can actually decide if you want to be fucking called they, which is a plural of a pronoun. Like this they is more than one person. So it's just a little bit psychotic for me. But we're not gonna get political on this.
No, we're not.
Because that's how I always understand they grammatically. You know, so for me to want a unified person to be called they, like a bunch of people.
Join us next time. We'll be talking about other things. Not going to tell you what it is just now because, you know, we have to keep some things under wraps. But we'll catch you all on the
flip side.
On the flip side.
Peace.
Bye.